So it seems like AI music is a real big problem, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna go away. So today in this video, I'm gonna tell you every strategy that I have come up with on how to combat AI music and make sure the work that I'm doing stands up to AI music and can actually beat it. Hey everyone, I'm Cole Caparoon, and thank you so much for stopping by for another video. I really appreciate you being here. I hope that this helps you. So what do I actually mean by this? Well, AI in general appeals to the lowest common denominator, the average. Now this has its place in a whole bunch of different ways in terms of marketing, in terms of running a business, in terms of finding out information about any subject at all. But what it's really bad at is being special and being unique, conveying an emotion, making people feel something. So after weeks and weeks of thinking about this, I have come up with some things that I'm going to start implementing into my daily workflow, into my productions, and into my mixes that are going to help the music that I work on stand out against music that's created by AI. And like everything on this channel, I'm just gonna give all my strategies to you guys free of charge. So before I do that though, there are links in the description down below for every single piece of gear that I use. So if you want to see all the gear that I'm using on a daily basis, hit the links in the description. But you don't have to just pick up the pieces of gear that are in the description. Anytime you guys need any piece of gear whatsoever, you can jump on any one of my videos, click on any link in the description of any video, and once you're on the site, you can purchase literally anything that you need that you were gonna buy anyway. It costs you nothing extra, but it goes a huge long ways to help me keep making videos just like this. And just about all of those links go to Sweetwater. So massive thanks to Sweetwater for sponsoring this video, and a huge thanks to you guys for using those links anytime you need to purchase anything. It means the world to me that you guys support the people that support me and helping me keep this whole thing going where I can just give a fire hose of good free information to you guys. And it's all thanks to Sweetwater sponsoring these videos. Links down below. Okay, how to help your music stand out against AI music. First up, it is more important than ever before to pull the emotion out of the artist. This is something that I've focused on for a long time, but I'm gonna turn it up about 30 notches. If the artist sitting here playing something or singing something isn't making me feel something in the seat, then we gotta work on it until they make me feel something. I have to believe what they're saying. I have to be emotionally impacted by what they're doing. And if I am not, then it is my job to coach them and get them in the right headspace and in the right mindset so that way they can convey the emotion that they're trying to convey in the song. This has always been our job as producers and mixers. It's always been our job to pull the emotion out of the song, but it is more important now than ever before. Because AI, it's gonna get better at faking emotion, but it's never gonna give us real emotion. AI doesn't know what real emotion is. And the very best way to do this is to get the singer or the artist in the right headspace, to place that, what's this song about? Tell me what this song was about. Tell me why you wrote it. Tell me the message that you're trying to get across. Doesn't matter if it's sad, happy, angry. It doesn't matter the emotion. Get them in the headspace that is the reason why they wrote that song. If it's an angry song, get them mad. If it's a sad song, talk about it. Figure out what they wrote the song about. Get them to relive that moment that they wrote the song about, and then record it. Same thing happens in the mix. How do we enhance the emotion in the mix? I probably need to do a whole video just on these couple techniques that I use about how to enhance emotion in a mix. But it really has a lot to do with subject matter and just letting the vibe of the song support the subject of the song. If it's a hard, aggressive, angry song, then we need to use more saturation. It needs to be crispier sounding. It needs to be more aggressive sounding. The drums need to hit harder. If it's a sad song that is about losing a loved one or something, then we need to chill everything out and make sure that we are supporting, building a sonic palette that supports that emotion. Whatever story the singer is telling, does it add to the emotion for the vocal to be very, very dry so it feels like the singer is all alone? Or does it add to the emotion to stack a bunch of long reverbs and delays on it so it is more epic and soaring sounding? What space do we place the band in order to enhance the emotion? Is it in a small room? Is it in a cavern? Is it in a hall? Is it very dry? Like, all of these things play a part in enhancing the emotion in the mix. Okay, next up, the thing that I used to do so much is I would help artists and bands choose their singles based on what was the most marketable, the most commercially viable. I think that I was really good at this, and if you look at a bunch of my past clients, I think it's pretty obvious because a lot of the songs that I worked on, they had higher streaming numbers than stuff that other producers did. I'm not saying that to bash anybody or toot my own horn necessarily. I'm just saying this is a really important part of the skill set, is helping artists choose songs that can be successful. However, this is gonna change. This needs to change, because one of the ways that I would do this for artists is picking songs that had mass market appeal. Songs that were not very niche, songs that would appeal to a wide variety of people, that would kind of appeal to a wide variety of tastes genre-wise, songs that were about topics that a large group of people could relate to. It was all about choosing a song that more people could appreciate. But I think this probably needs to start changing a little bit, because AI does appeal to like the lowest common denominator, the average, which means that that's exactly what AI music is gonna do. It is going to cast the widest net, appeal to the most amount of people, because it's been trained on the widest number of songs and is literally going to average them out to create some piece of music. So how do we stand out against this? We start picking songs based on emotion, personality, uniqueness, and maybe the most important is how it resonates with the artist. This is something that has always been a situation. It is very common for an artist to send me 20 songs to help them pick their next single, and I pick the one that is the most marketable, that will appeal to the most people. But it's not uncommon for that song to be the one that resonates with the artist the least, or at least not be the one that resonates with them the most. So I think something that I'm going to start placing a lot more weight on, like there's a whole bunch of categories that are weighted differently in terms of how I help an artist pick a song. All the categories like how catchy is it, how memorable are the lyrics, what's the structure of the song, and does the song really move through in a way that will keep people's attention from beginning to end? What's the subject matter? Do the lyrics have some word twist in them that grabs people and makes them pay attention? Is the subject matter relatable to just a couple people that have been through this one tiny little thing, or is it relatable to a whole bunch of people? Are the lyrics kind of vague and don't really mean anything, or are completely left up to interpretation, or are they very clearly laid out where like there is no mistaking what this singer is talking about? How well does it fit into specific genres? How well can I see the path through the song to the end? All of these things had a different percentage of weight to them that would help me choose the song. And whether or not a song meant a lot to an artist, it meant something in terms of how I helped choose the song, but it wasn't the ultimate determining factor, not even close. It was maybe evenly weighted against the other things, but I think moving forward, a lot more weight needs to be placed on how the song resonates with the artist. How emotionally attached are they and invested are they? Because the more emotionally attached, the more emotionally invested an artist is in a song, the easier it's going to be for me to pull the emotion out of them in the production phase. Okay, the next thing is, I think less perfect is gonna win, because AI is going to create music that, generally speaking, lacks personality. And like I already said, lacks emotion. Now, the interesting thing to me is emotional music and perfect music are opposite ends of the spectrum. And every song I've ever worked on, I have looked at the song, looked at the lyrical content, looked at what the intent for the song was, and figured out where on this spectrum does the song need to live. Does it need to be perfect, or does it need to be 100% emotional? And it's always somewhere in between. But it is a sliding scale that is something I've always paid attention to. And I think moving forward, we need to place a lot more emphasis on being less perfect and more personality with more emotion. An example of this would be in rock and metal, for instance. Currently, man, everything sounds the same. Everyone's using the same programmed drums, the same drum samples, the same DI'd guitars, the same guitar tones. Like it is just an endless pool of sameness. And any sort of genre that has an endless pool of sameness, I think, is going to be the easiest thing for AI music to just completely dominate. They could just copy all of that, especially because there's such a gigantic pool of same sounding music to train AI to allow it to copy. Like, that's going to be the first thing it copies and the easiest thing for it to copy. So what do we do about this? Well, for me personally, which I've always done this, I'm not programming drums. I mean, unless it's a pop song that needs obviously programmed percussion and 808s and whatnot, like, no, we're using real drums all the time on every single song. If it is meant to sound like it has real drums, then they will actually be real drums tracked with microphones played by a drummer. This is personality. This is uniqueness. Every drum kit sounds different. Every time you move a microphone, it sounds different. Every time you put a different microphone up, it sounds different. Every different drummer plays different and has different touch and different tastes. Same thing with guitars and other instruments. I'm pretty close to just going back to recording all the guitars with real cabinets and real microphones. I'm even considering building an ISO room behind Studio B in my attic that is like a little soundproof booth for guitar cabs, because every time I put microphones in front of a cabinet, it's going to sound a little bit different. Swapping microphones out sounds a little bit different. Don't get me wrong, my Waza tube amp expander that I've been using for the last couple years, it sounds great. Like, it really does sound great. I think it's the best DI thing for running real amplifiers into on the market. I genuinely believe that. But I've got two sounds in it. After, weeks and weeks of trying to find sounds, I created two profiles, two sounds, and they're two very good sounds, but that's all I got. And that's just not gonna cut it. Every single song needs to have some character and uniqueness about it. So getting away from the same thing that everyone else is using, I mean, there's only so many drum sample libraries out there. There's only so many different ways to program drums, but there are an infinite number of drum kits, drum rooms, drum microphones, and drummers and drum heads and drum sticks and drum kick beaters and etc. There's an infinite combination of all of those things. You could record 10 songs a day for 100 years and still not get through every combination of cymbals and drum heads that there are. So for me personally, real instruments, when it's necessary, of course, when it's called for. I'm not trying to take a super pop song or an EDM song and put real drums on it, but when it calls for it, when the song calls for it, we're gonna do that. The next thing is just unique structure. This whole, intro, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, that's a bunch of sameness. Take the time to figure out how to make it unique. Something that cannot just be copy and pasted section to section. You put an extra quarter note in this stop here. Instead of the chorus just being copy and pasted vocally or instrumentally, let's make sure we figure out a way to make it unique. Make it not the same. Don't be afraid to mess arrangements up. Start with verse 1. Start with the chorus. Who cares? The more you are willing to make things unique, the more likely it is to stand out. Now, obviously, we have to do this within the context of, keeping people's attention and trying to make the song marketable, because that is still our job, is trying to make the song the most marketable as possible. Now, none of this means make shittier music. That perfect to emotional spectrum, it's like this wide of a spectrum. It's like perfect and emotional, and like bad is like still way over here. I really want to stress this. Don't use this principle, this concept of what I'm talking about in this video, as a way to not care. I'm still gonna tune every single vocal, but I'm gonna try even harder to not pull emotion out of it when I'm tuning it. And I've talked about this in other videos. I probably need to do a video on this exact topic. I tune vocals with emotion. My tuned vocals have more emotion in them than the regular untreated vocal does. And it's because I'm all about figuring out when the vocal needs to go late or early or sharp or flat, and making it do that exactly how I want to do it, so that way it conveys even more emotion than the singer did. I think it's super important to make great music, because AI music is, for as generic as it is and maybe lacks emotion and maybe lacks character, it is very good. It's surprisingly good. And so it is important to continue to strive to make great, excellent music, the best we can possibly make. but we have to make sure that it has a message, that it has emotion. But I just think it's important to like say something. I don't know how else to say it. Say something. Have a message. Have a reason for making the song. Lyrics that are very easy to understand what the point of the song is. Don't forget links in the description down below for everything that I use. Thank you guys for using that. Thank you guys for watching. These are the things that I'm gonna do, and I hope it helped you. And I hope that this helps us combat this AI problem. There's a lot of interesting things in the industry happening right now when it comes to AI. A lot of interesting deals between like Suno and major labels. A lot of interesting things happening where like different music platforms are either taking a stand against AI music or starting to verify real artists. There's a lot happening right now. Stuff is moving and changing very, very quickly. And so it is gonna be extremely interesting to me where we end up, how this all works out. But in the meantime, regardless of any of that, I think it's time to make the most special music that we possibly can. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.